Hello, everyone, and welcome back to MS Dina English. I'm so happy you decided to spend a little time with us today.
And I'm Tom. Whether you're relaxing at home, driving to work, walking in the park, or taking a short break, thank you for listening.
Today, we have a topic that is extremely useful because almost everyone makes phone calls, even if many of us also send messages these days.
That's right. We're going to talk about phrasal verbs for phone calls, and we'll learn them through a natural conversation instead of a long vocabulary list.
This episode is designed for B1 to B2 English learners, so we'll speak clearly and naturally while using real expressions that native speakers often say.
Don't worry if you don't understand every single word. Try to follow the general meaning, and your listening skills will become stronger over time.
Before we begin, here's a simple question for you.
Think about the last phone call you had. Was it with a friend, a family member, or someone from work?
Maybe it was a quick conversation that lasted only a minute.
Or maybe it was one of those long calls where you suddenly realize an hour has passed.
It happens more often than we expect.
Especially when someone says, "I'll only keep you for 5 minutes."
Yes, somehow those 5 minutes become 45.
This episode, you'll hear several common phrasal verbs that people use while talking about phone calls.
We won't only explain them, we'll also use them naturally so you can hear how they fit into real conversations.
That makes them much easier to remember.
Tom, do you enjoy talking on the phone?
Honestly, it depends on who is calling.
That sounds like a careful answer.
Well, if it's my family or close friends, I enjoy it.
But if it's an unknown number?
Then I suddenly become very busy.
I think many listeners understand that feeling.
Sometimes my phone rings, I look at the screen, and I think, maybe they'll send a message instead.
That reminds me of our first phrasal verb.
Exactly. The first one is pick up.
To pick up the phone means to answer it.
For example, if your friend calls you and you answer, you can say, "I picked up the phone."
Here are a few simple examples.
I couldn't pick up because I was driving.
She always picks up when her mother calls.
Can you pick up your phone? I've called 3 times.
Notice that we don't always say the phone. Very often, people simply say, "Why didn't you pick up?"
Everyone understands that you're talking about answering the phone.
Let me ask you something, Tom. Do you always pick up when your family calls?
Most of the time, yes.
Most of the time?
Well, unless I'm in the shower.
That's a reasonable excuse.
I don't think anyone wants me running across the house with soap in my eyes just to answer the phone.
I completely agree.
Sometimes I call back a few minutes later.
That's another useful expression we'll discuss later.
Before that, let's imagine a simple situation.
Okay.
Imagine you're speaking with customer service.
Okay.
You've been waiting for 15 minutes.
That's already frustrating.
Finally, someone answers.
Great.
Then, after 1 minute, the call suddenly ends.
Oh no.
You don't know if they hung up or if the connection failed.
Either way, you probably aren't very happy.
Definitely not.
Now let's learn another useful phrasal verb.
This one is call back.
Call back means to return someone's phone call after you missed it or after the conversation ended.
For example, "I'll call you back in 10 minutes.
Or, "She called me back after her meeting."
Here's another one.
"Sorry, I can't talk right now. I'll call back later."
This is one of the most useful expressions you'll hear in everyday English.
Tom, do you ever forget to call people back?
I wish I could say no.
That sounds dangerous.
Sometimes I read the missed call, think I'll do it in 5 minutes, and then suddenly it's bedtime.
I know exactly what you mean.
Then the next morning I remember and feel a little guilty.
That's why some people immediately write themselves a reminder.
Good idea.
Another thing people often say is, "Can I call you back? I'm in the middle of something."
That's polite because you're letting the other person know you still want to talk.
You're not ignoring them.
You're simply choosing a better time for the conversation.
So today, we've already learned 3 useful phrasal verbs.
Pick up, hang up, and call back.
As you listen, try saying each one quietly to yourself.
Then imagine a real situation where you could use it the next time someone calls you.
One thing I really like about phrasal verbs is that they appear everywhere in daily conversations. Once you start noticing them, you realize native speakers use them almost without thinking.
That's true. You can study grammar for hours, but if you don't know common phrasal verbs, everyday conversations may still sound confusing.
Let's continue with another useful one that you'll hear all the time.
This phrasal verb is put through.
If someone puts you through, they connect your call to another person or another department.
This often happens when you call a company, a hospital, or a government office.
Imagine you call your internet provider.
The receptionist answers and says, "One moment, I'll put you through to technical support."
That means your call is being transferred.
Here are a few examples.
Could you put me through to the manager, please?
I'll put you through to our sales department.
She put me through after asking for my account number.
Tom, have you ever been transferred so many times that you forgot why you called?
Oh, yes.
First, they put me through to one department.
Then?
That person apologized and put me through to someone else.
And then?
Then I explained everything again.
Let me guess, they transferred you again.
Exactly. By the end, I knew everyone's voice except the person who could actually solve my problem.
I think many listeners have experienced something similar.
Our next phrasal verb is another important one.
It's get through.
This expression has more than one meaning, but today we'll focus on phone calls.
When you get through, you successfully reach the person or company you're trying to call.
Sometimes phone lines are busy.
Sometimes there are too many callers.
In those situations, you might say, "I couldn't get through."
Here are a few examples.
I tried calling all morning, but I couldn't get through.
Finally, I got through after 20 minutes.
Did you get through to the doctor's office?
Notice the difference between put through and get through.
Someone else puts you through.
But you get through when your call successfully reaches someone.
That's an important difference to remember.
Let's imagine another situation.
You're calling your friend on New Year's Eve.
Everyone is making phone calls.
The network is very busy.
You try once.
Nothing.
You try again.
Still nothing.
Finally, after several attempts.
You get through and hear your friend's voice.
Success.
And both of you immediately start talking at the same time.
That happens surprisingly often. Now let's move to another very common expression. The next phrasal verb is cut off.
Nobody likes this one.
If you're cut off, your phone call suddenly ends because the connection is interrupted.
This usually isn't anybody's fault.
Maybe the signal disappeared.
Maybe your battery died.
Maybe you entered a tunnel while driving.
Here are some examples.
Sorry, we got cut off.
The call was cut off because of the bad signal.
Can you hear me? I think we're about to get cut off.
Tom, has this happened to you during an important conversation?
Unfortunately, yes.
I was talking to my bank.
That sounds important.
We had already spent 15 minutes discussing my problem.
Then what happened?
Right when the employee said, "I have good news,"
Oh no.
the call was cut off.
That's terrible timing.
I know. I had to call again and explain everything from the beginning.
That's enough to test anyone's patience.
Absolutely.
Here's another useful phrasal verb.
This one is hold on.
Hold on means wait for a short time.
During phone calls, you'll hear this expression constantly.
Someone might say, hold on a second.
Or, could you hold on while I check that information?
Let's practice with a few examples.
Hold on, I'll find my notebook.
Please hold on while I transfer your call.
Can you hold on for just 1 minute?
This expression sounds friendly and natural.
It's much more common than saying only wait.
Imagine your friend calls while you're opening the front door.
You might say, hold on, I'm getting my keys.
Or perhaps you're looking for your glasses.
That's becoming more common for me every year.
Are they usually on your desk?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Sometimes they're already on my face.
I think we've all done that at least once.
Hopefully only once.
Let's review what we've learned so far.
Put through means connect someone's call to another person.
Get through means successfully reach someone by phone.
Cut off means the call suddenly ends because of a problem with the connection.
And hold on means wait for a short moment.
These expressions appear in everyday conversations, business calls, customer service, and even casual chats with friends.
The more you hear them, the more natural they'll become.
And the next time someone says, "Hold on while I put you through," you'll understand every part of the sentence without needing to translate it in your head.
We've learned quite a few useful phrasal verbs already, but before we finish today's episode, let's bring them together in one natural conversation.
Great idea. Listening to them in context makes them much easier to remember.
Imagine that I'm calling you because we're planning tomorrow's English workshop.
Sounds good. Let's begin.
Ring, ring.
Hello, Tom speaking.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for picking up so quickly.
No problem. I almost didn't pick up because I thought it was another unknown number.
I'm glad your curiosity won.
Mine too. What's up?
I wanted to ask if you're free tomorrow afternoon.
Hold on a second. Let me check my calendar.
Sure.
Okay, I'm back.
Is everything free?
Almost. I have one meeting in the morning, but the afternoon is completely open.
Perfect. I also wanted to ask if you've spoken with our new student.
I tried calling yesterday, but I couldn't get through.
Maybe the phone was switched off?
That's possible.
Did the student call you back later?
Yes, about an hour later.
Great.
We talked for nearly 20 minutes before the call was suddenly cut off.
Bad signal?
I think so.
At least they called back again.
Yes, and we finally finished our conversation.
That little dialogue included almost every phrasal verb we've practiced today.
Exactly, and that's how you'll hear them in real life.
Now let's review them one last time.
Pick up means answer the phone.
Hang up means end the phone call.
Call back means return someone's call later.
Put through means connect someone to another person during a phone call.
Get through means successfully reach someone.
Cut off means the call suddenly ends because of a technical problem.
And hold on means wait for a short moment.
Here's a useful learning tip.
Instead of memorizing long vocabulary lists, create short stories using the phrasal verbs.
For example, you could say, "My friend called me yesterday."
I couldn't pick up because I was driving.
I called back after work.
We talked for 15 minutes before we got cut off.
4 phrasal verbs in only a few sentences.
That's much easier to remember because the vocabulary has a real situation around it.
Another helpful idea is to listen carefully whenever you watch English videos, movies, or TV shows.
Native speakers use these expressions naturally without stopping to explain them.
The more often you hear them, the more familiar they'll sound.
Eventually, you'll begin using them yourself without translating from your first language.
That's exactly what we want.
Learning English isn't only about knowing more words.
It's about knowing which words people actually use every day.
Phrasal verbs are a big part of natural spoken English.
Some learners try to avoid them because they seem difficult.
But after today's conversation, I hope they feel much less intimidating.
The secret is simple.
Learn a few at a time.
Hear them in conversations.
Repeat them aloud.
Then use them whenever you have the chance.
Small practice every day creates big improvement over time.
Before we finish, we'd like to give you a small challenge.
Choose 3 of today's phrasal verbs and make your own sentences.
Even simple sentences are excellent practice.
For example, my sister called me, but I couldn't pick up.
I'll call her back after dinner.
Or, please hold on while I find the information.
If you can make your own examples, you're already moving from understanding English to using English.
That's an important step in becoming a confident speaker.
We'd also love to hear from you.
Write a comment telling us which phrasal verb was completely new for you today.
Or tell us which one you hear most often in your daily life.
Reading your comments helps us choose future podcast topics.
If you enjoyed learning with us today, don't forget to like this episode and share it with another English learner.
And if you're new here, subscribe to Miss Dina English so you won't miss future conversations about vocabulary, grammar, phrasal verbs, and real English.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
Keep listening, keep speaking, keep practicing, and remember that every small conversation helps you become a more confident English speaker.
Take care, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you again very soon.
Goodbye, everyone, and thanks for listening to Miss Dina English.